I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We need a motion to accept the consent agenda as amended as an order of business with identification of items taken off the consent agenda for further discussion.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And we'll consider approval of the consent agenda as amended on the following. Approve the minutes of April 17th, 2017 Board of Education meeting. Approve the financial report for the period of July 1st, 2017 through April 30th, 2018. Approve the bills for the period of April 1st, 2018 through April 30th, 2018 in the amount of $2,088,263.68. So you need a motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Board reorganization, election of officers.
I'd like to nominate our current slate of officers to renew them for next year.
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Board district leadership team and strategic planning.
Well, first you have to do the liaison positions.
Yeah. Appoint board liaison positions, okay. Then what do we?
So right now we have community education, foundation, family resource center, and professional development that has to be appointed. And currently on the community ed council, we have Sally Isley. On foundation, we have Bob Travis. On the family resource center, we have Jamie Gambrell. And on the professional development council, we have Richard York.
Okay. Does anybody object to remaining on those positions for next year?
No, I'd be happy to.
Yep.
Same here.
Then you're all appointed.
Okay.
Okay, now we have the board district leadership team, strategic planning, academic pillar of excellence, Plymouth High School, and Carrie.
Yep, tonight we have all these wonderful students out here coming to speak to us. This is our annual AFS update. So Ann Whedon is going to introduce who she brought with her tonight, and we'll enjoy ourselves for just a bit here.
Come on up. And then we have one people-to-people person, too.
Excellent. Yeah, good.
Everybody.
So this year, I'm going to have you guys all line up. I want to present all of you guys. We have, we're hosting 10 students, Plymouth High School is hosting 10 AFS students this year. And I want to just kind of go back, because I remember back in 2011, Dan Mella said to us, how many kids can you get here? And we said how many kids we can support is how many we can get. And this year we're kind of keeping it right at 8 to 10 kids, and I'm very proud of the kids that we do have. So I'm going to let you start, Simon. Introduce yourself and where you're from.
Okay. Hi, I'm Simon. I'm from Germany, and I'm 17 years old.
Hi, I'm Kit, and I'm from Hong Kong. I'm 16.
Hi, I'm Moki. I'm from Turkey, and I'm 17.
Hi, I'm Sana. I'm from Japan. I'm 16.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm from Spain and I'm 16.
I'm Hannah and I'm from Austria and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Louis and I'm from Norway and I'm 17.
I'm Sylvie. I'm from Germany and I'm 16.
I'm Anna. I'm from Hungary and I'm 16.
So we have a wide variety of countries again. You know, we're really trying hard to get some kids from different countries. This is the first year we've ever had anyone from Hungary. And, you know, this is things that we try to do. We do have 2 scholarship students here at Plymouth High School. Simon is CBYX, which is
Congress Bundestag, which so it's a political scholarship.
between Germany and we've had a CBYX student at Plymouth High School probably for the last 5-6 years, I think. And then Oyku from Turkey is?
Yes, program. It's between Muslim countries and America.
So and that program started, just as a refresher, 2 years after September 11th to bridge the gap between the Muslim countries and America. So I'm very proud of our kids. They've all been involved in lots of different things, and if you would like them to tell you what they've been involved in, that'd be great. Okay.
That'd be great.
Anna. Well, okay, so first I was in swimming, and I was also in band. And in solo ensemble, I got an exemplary award for state for my full solo.
Wonderful. Nice. Sylvie?
I wanted to do a swimming team, but because I'm only here for the second semester, I couldn't. But then I tried track and field.
Okay. Good.
I played soccer and the team went to state. And right now I'm just working out.
I was in cross country for most of the time, and I play basketball, and I'm in soccer.
I played soccer, then swimming, and now I'm in tennis varsity. I play singles one, so.
And he's grown about 3 inches since he got here.
I was in swim team and dance team, and I did musical, and I'm in track and field now.
Oh yeah, I did musical too. I was in the pit band.
I try a lot of sports, but I'm not a sporty person, so I mostly quit. And I joined art club. Now I tried for soccer, but I'm not good at it. So I'm assistant manager at JV.
I was in swimming team and I'm in chess club now.
I played football, did wrestling, and right now I'm in track and field.
And before we got here, actually Oyku has completed 100 hours of volunteer service while she's been here. That's something that's encouraged with the scholarship kids. And before we came to the meeting tonight, we worked at the welcome table feeding the people who came there, didn't prepare the food, but she did serve the food and clean up. And, it was a couple of hours of work, and it was good to do. It's a way to pay back to the community. So I'm very proud of our kids.
I just have to say that I did make one of the sessions over at Generations, and I wish I could make all of them. It's just so interesting listening to the students talk about their experience here.
That's good. Yeah, I saw you. That was nice. That was really nice. Yeah, they do presentations usually 3 times during the year, and at Generations now on a Sunday, and it's open to the public. And we usually have close to 100 people there. Wow. It's quite impressive.
So, what was your most impressionable period that you had at Plymouth? What did you like the best?
I would say the sports, like the sports teams. I really felt connected through that, and especially wrestling was an awesome experience.
Meeting friends, meeting lots of friends. Yeah.
I like the people. The people are nice, and I like the building because the building are big for me. I live in apartment in Hong Kong. Yeah.
I like the people too. They're so friendly and everything. When they see you at the hallways, they're like, "Hi, how are you?" and stuff. It's just so nice.
I really liked musical because I was doing musical in Japan too, so it was kind of one of my dreams to do like American musical, like High School Musical, and and also like they were really in it, like they were really serious about musical. So like even though they have problems, like they were like, we gotta do this, and we practiced every day, and it was really fun. It was hard, but it was really fun.
So, as Simon said, I really like the sports because they are connected to the high school, and like I also like that people have to have like good grades to go to the sports. And one of the best experiences when, like I was in JV, but I still practice with varsity, and when we went to state for soccer, it was pretty good. So.
Yeah, like the school in general, it's like in the movie, so that was pretty cool. And like the people are very nice, and also like I like the sports. like the school spirit, that's really good. Like to support all the sports, I like that the most, I think.
Yeah, I have to agree with Simon and Lucas. I really enjoyed the sports, and for me it was the easiest way to connect with people in my grade and make friends. And most memorable moment was when we won the game and went to state. That was the best part.
I really like the teachers here. Other teachers here are so nice and like really want you to do your best in the classes. And I love that you can here really choose what you like to, what classes you like psychology, because in Germany we are not able to do that.
Well, I really like the musical education here. I think it's awesome, and I really like Mr. Shabranik. I think he's a really talented musician and teacher, and I mostly like the teachers too. They're super nice, and also that I like that the school has a pool, and it's pretty nice because at home we always had to walk an hour to get to the pool from the school, so it's really nice.
I have probably the most important question. What's your favorite kind of American food you can eat?
Oh my god.
I'm starting on this side.
Well, mine is mozzarella sticks.
Mine would be everything from Taco Bell.
I would say pizza, even though it's not American, but your
It's
style.
plenty American here.
Definitely burgers.
I like when my host father goes hunting and he hunts a deer. If when he cooks, it's really good. So I would say that. And mac and cheese. Yeah.
I like American pizza. I don't know, yeah. Same as Louis.
Cheese curds.
I like French fries and burgers.
I love tacos and cookie dough ice cream.
Oh yeah, colors. Custard.
Not one peanut butter. We usually get a peanut butter.
Did any of you have an opportunity to taste one of our famous cream puffs?
No, I did.
I think so.
You ought to make sure to get some. Yeah, Wisconsin cream puffs, yeah.
I don't know. I think I had a country cream puff.
Okay. Any other-
Thanks for doing this, Ann.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for attending Plymouth High School. And what we like to do is have you go back to your home country and tell them how we appreciate you and how nice it is in America.
And we'd like to say thank you for letting you or this school host us. We really appreciate the opportunity and having this awesome experience. So we all wanted to say thank you for that, for giving us this year.
Thank you for being here.
You know, and on another note, it's been said that, we have more students at Plymouth High School, exchange students, than almost any other school. And it's because of the school, because of the opportunity, because of the people of Plymouth. They welcome these kids, the school welcomes the kids, the teachers welcome the kids. Having Laura Cable as their advisor, their homeroom advisor, it works out good
She's doing
that
a lot
way.
for us.
So I'm very thankful, very proud.
Good.
Of these kids.
Thank you.
I would like to be like Pam Pam.
Okay, we need to approve. We need to approve the high school 2018-2019 curriculum guide. Dan?
You were presented with this at the committee of the whole meeting, and Jennifer Rauscher, our principal, talked about the classes that were new for the upcoming school year, and I'll just briefly state them again, and then if there are any questions, you can go ahead and fire away. So the new classes 2018 are going to be accelerated area studies, accelerated citizenship, accelerated physics, advanced art, digital electronics. It's been there, but it's back in the saddle again. exploring instrumental music, music theory, and statistics, some of which are from the master's program that we do in Plymouth School District, and most of which are cum laude classes, so they're advanced courses, and we're trying to expand the offerings throughout the course guide and through the different career pathways that children are interested in. So those are some of the classes that were presented last time, and so if there are any questions, otherwise we'd be looking for an approval.
Motion to approve the course guide for the 2018-19 school year.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on this? All in favor? Aye. The legislative update, Carrie, do you want to?
Yeah, we actually did not have a legislative breakfast because it's the third Monday of the month, and that's next Monday. And so that will be next Monday. And I will tell you right now, what we want to talk with our legislators about is the safety grant. And we're all in the process, all of us as superintendents, we're in the process of trying to write that grant. So we want to make sure that we are providing whatever needs to be provided to be able to get that done. So that's probably going to be the main topic. And then after Monday, then summer comes, and we don't meet because they're not in session. So then we'll meet up again in September. So.
Thank you, Carrie. Finance, buildings, and grounds. We need to approve the sale of the $21,900,000 bond note pursuant to Section 6712, Paragraph 1, Subparagraph B of the Wisconsin State Statutes. John.
Yeah, the first stage in financing our referendum projects is this bank anticipation note. This resolution will lock in an interest rate for the bond anticipation note, which is a short-term or bridge loan or construction loan. Basically will run from June 5th to December 5th at a maximum. It's callable in interim in between. The interest rate is 2.45%. That's 30 basis points lower than we projected when we first did the financing look. So that's good news. The proceeds from this note will be deposited in our project fund and used to pay invoices on the referendum project, as they are now starting to come up. And it will be paid off with the refunding bonds within the next few months.
Thank you, John. We went over this in the committee of the whole meeting. We need a motion.
So, all right, I'll move that we authorize the issuance and sale of the $2,900,000 bond. 21 million. Did I say 2 million?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to raise it. 900,000 bond anticipation note.
I hear you 2 million and raised you 19 more. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
That's it.
And I'll second that.
Is there any discussion on this? All those in favor, please say aye. 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 Any opposed? Then. No. Approve the resolution authorizing the issuance of established parameters for the sale not to exceed $21,900,000 in general obligation bonds. And again, this is John.
Okay. In the second part, which we basically go ahead and refund the bond anticipation note sometime probably this summer. We need to pass this resolution, which sets the parameters of that bonding issue, that 20-year note that we'll have outstanding. After the bond is in place and all the documentation is completed, they lock in the permanent interest rate. They have put a topside interest rate on this bond of 4.5%. Right now, they were anticipating being able to sell the bond at somewhere between 3.5% and 4%, so it shouldn't approach that 4.5% on average. And this would be the basically first 2/3 of our referendum financing dollars. We would sell the other $10 million basically a year from now. We don't need all those funds. And a year from now, we would be able to issue the $10 million as a bank qualified bond, which means we could get better interest rates than selling it all at one time. This resolution allows Robert W. Baird to lock in any day that they feel that the bond market is strong, where we can get good rates, and allows administration to complete that sale without having to call another board meeting to authorize the bonds.
So I move we approve the resolution authorizing the issuance and establishment of parameters for the sale of bond not to exceed $21,900,000 in general obligation funding, refunding.
Are you sure about that, Bob?
Yes, I am sure it's 21,900,000.
You're going down. I second that motion.
Okay, any more discussion on this?
It's a big number, it's not easy.
Yeah. So, hearing no more discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Then we need to approve the preliminary budget for 2018-2019 school year. John?
Annually in May, we go through, I guess, where the budget stands now, and the board approves it, so we can do some summer spending in terms of supplies and contracts and summer school and whatnot, which will be obviously amended come October when we have all of our final figures. But I'll kind of show you where the budget stands this year. A lot of people accuse me of getting too deep in the weeds when we do budget, so hopefully this is lifting out of the weeds a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. On the revenue, I'm sorry, I think I might have gone. Nope. On the revenue side, we are getting more than $616,000 in additional revenue. That's going to come from basically a couple important sources. First, the state of Wisconsin, for all school districts, has a per student increase of $204 per student in categorical aid next year. And secondly, and more recently, the low revenue districts have been able to move up their dollars per student as much as $300 per student. For us, I believe it means about $188 per student. That is mostly going to fall on the property tax holder for the first year. That's what anticipated here. We don't know our state aid numbers. That could drop a little bit, but our local sources is up that amount. Most of the other areas stay the same. Interestingly enough, our open enrollment inbound numbers have a net drop. We have more people right now leaving the program than applying to come in for next year. So seniors graduating and whatnot, we only have like 16 applicants coming in. And federal sources are drying up a bit. We'll go into that discussion in a bit. Again, like I said, we're actually increasing $218 per student in the revenue limit. I guess I was a little bit short there. We're right now projecting eight less students next year than we have this year. Our largest class is graduating this year. The $204. And our special education dollars, that's where the federal grant is kind of drying up. We will fully utilize, we've been able to build up some carryover in our IDEA grant, which funds special education. By the end of next year, all of those carryover dollars will be fully utilized, and we'll have less carryover dollars to use next year than we had to use this year, so that's why you see that $100,000 drop. And those are, again, the major sources of revenue change that are going on inside that budget in terms of dollars. So, but we are getting $616,000 new revenue in net, and that's huge compared to what we've had other years. Expenses, of course, are going up as well. Overall, we are seeing salaries and benefits go up slightly. The first lines with salary and benefits are basically the same staff we have coming back. The district leadership team is proposing an additional 3 FTE in the professional staff. That is a couple teachers and a school psychologist. We are having quite a number of retirements and other people leave the district this year. We anticipate being able to save from rehiring less senior staff, I guess. However, and overall, we have just about a 2% overall salaries and benefits increase, including those 3 FTE plus the suspected savings, so the 19 to the 20.3 number. What's included in there, we were able to get our health insurance increase rate down to a 4% increase. I think you'll look around and see that's a fairly good number. What We had to experience that by both changing carriers and changing some of the parameters of our health insurance program. You will be asked to, when we go through the support staff handbook later in the meeting tonight, there are some salary or wage range changes, that's hard to say too, in the budget, and that should add up to about $75,000 in additional compensation to our support staff. A number of retirees, again, are coming off our retirement plan. That's some savings, so that's all kind of built in the budget, but those are the big changes in that salaries and benefits other than the additional staff. On the services, supplies, and equipment budget, a few comments here. What you're looking at when it says services to services doesn't mean the same thing in 17-18 as it did in 18-19. DPI for starting next year has changed quite a number of the categorizations. For example, you see financing is a real easy one to see. Used to have lease dollars down in there, now those are services, so that got moved up there. Some services actually became supplies and capital equipment. That's sort of things that have to do with technology. So there's just not a great apples to apples comparison here. If you see that big jump in capital equipment, that's mostly in technical areas where all software and hardware is now considered capital equipment in there, where a lot of that used to be in supplies. The other thing that's happening there is last year we budgeted summer projects. You'll remember the carpeting projects in the Parkview and Fairview, the chimney project that was going on behind the school. Those were all one-time capital projects that were in services and are not budgeted in this budget. Mostly what you are looking at here, while there were some requests for furniture, while there was certainly our portion of the Fab Lab grant that we just got that's in this budget, those kind of things that are in there, but there isn't a whole lot of what I would call capital project or the kinds of things we did last summer in this budget currently. Certainly we might look at a few with whatever dollars we have left with the land sale, which I think will be in the $80,000 range after our boiler's done at Horizon and those kind of things. I mean, maybe there'll be something we propose coming forward, maybe by October, maybe sometime next year. Beyond that, there isn't a whole lot of things that are unusual that the school district doesn't normally buy on an ongoing basis in that budget right now, in terms of services, supplies, and equipment. Insurance, we had a fairly bad workers' comp year, although I was able to come back with a 22% dividend when we were originally offered none, so that will help out that number a little bit. That just came in today and is not in the budget right now. So it's still a moving target, but you'll basically see our service supplies and equipment number is relatively flat overall, and that's normally the way it is. So if you take those revenues and expenses, right now we have an operating surplus of $376, which is basically a balanced budget. I can tell you last year when I came in, and that should say 18-19, I guess I failed to change the header, but last year I came in here with about a $250,000 deficit at this point in the year. That's what having those extra revenues really does, and it allows the DLT to propose things like more staff and things like that going forward. There's things that are obviously going to change between now and September. We will hire all our staff for the year. Like I said, we're operating with some estimates there. WRS rates for 2019 will be released next month. Those always affect fringe benefits a little bit. You know, it's some reasonable five-figure number. We will have our actual summer school costs in there. Some years it's larger, some years it's smaller. It just depends on how many kids sign up, quite honestly. Summer hiring will take place and all those sort of things, and we will know our enrollment count. Again, we're just guessing based on the 4K kids who registered and the pluses and minuses that kind of along the way. Other budgets that we look at this time of year, hot lunch programs having a pretty good year. It should break even, has pretty much the last couple of years. Our sales are down because we had that price increase at the start of last year that always affects it. There's always this downturn early on before it starts to kick back up. We're starting to meet last year's sales figures, which is interesting when you have more prices and the same dollars coming in, but that's just what happens. We'll have a full year of food sales to the Catholic school, which has really helped impacted our budget in a positive way. And costs are, Tony's doing a good job of keeping her costs and labor and such right at budgeted levels. Pretty predictable program. Next year, the budget we've drawn up pretty much duplicates this year, except for the wage increases, again, that we're assuming. And we do have a one-year exemption from raising lunch prices this year, we think. The federal authorities have said that's the case if you have sufficient fund balance, which we do. We do not have to raise prices. That has not yet come through to the state level, however, which actually regulates us. So we believe there will be a one-year exemption, but stay tuned. On the community ed side, they're likely to show a small operating loss this year. I guess it was kind of projected. They didn't really raise their prices. They have a very large fund balance that they can chew up, and certainly next year they're planning to do quite a number of projects with it, including some of the things that have been talked about, like the outdoor facilities at Riverview, that sort of workout area. Certainly some remodeling done, I believe, at Parkview in terms of their daycare room, things like that. So those are one-time expenses that we plan to come out of fund balance next year. And I believe that's all I have at this point. I guess going back to here, and I did pass out the latest budget numbers. I think they're pretty much the same numbers you saw at the committee of the whole meeting. But if you would pass that budget along, then we will obviously have money to operate in the summer until we get to the tax levy and all those good things.
We need a motion.
So I move we approve the preliminary budget as presented by Mr. Miller.
Second.
One thing I wanted to remind the viewing public is that when we talk about deficits, we're not spending money we don't have. What it does is take money away from our fund balance, which makes it harder, or not harder, but more expensive for us to borrow money. This year, we're going to have a couple dollars put back into that fund balance. So this is where we go with the extra money. It goes back into our fund balance. So saying that, is there any other thing that anybody wants to say?
Where will the 2 new teachers be? Which building?
One is an 8th grade teacher.
8th grade and alternative education.
Alternative education at the high school.
Okay.
All those in favor? Aye. We need to approve the copy machine bid for 2018-2019. John?
I handed this out at the committee of the whole meeting. Our current supplier of these copiers, Ross Equipment, was the low bidder. People are happy with that equipment, and here it is. The total bid cost was $11,799.56, which was really better than $1,000 better than the next closest bid. And since people are familiar with the equipment, I am recommending we continue with Ross Imaging, replacing the current machines we have.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Facilities Subcommittee report. Bob?
We have not met, and we will start to resume our meetings going forward, but Carrie has been working with the architect and Myron Construction. And do you have anything to update on at this point?
There's just a lot of preliminary types of things that are going on. We do have a timeline out on the website right now, a tentative timeline that we were able to come up with. So that is out there. And again, we need to set our committee meeting up so that we can sort of touch base and get those touch points as we continue to move forward. So,
okay.
Anything else, Dan?
Pre-planning and getting all the teams together with the architects and all the engineers and people, getting everybody's voices and ideas on the table so that all subgroups of the whole district are represented in the planning process. So
Yep.
very long and lots of people involved with the meetings.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have to consider gifts and correspondence.
Yep.
Budget. Carrie.
Exactly. First of all, tonight we have a donation of $478.24 from Horizon Path for 4K student transportation to the post office and second grade class to visit the Siberian Huskies. A donation of $285.48 from Parkview PTK for student transportation to visit the Siberian Huskies, and a donation of $850.75 from Fairview PTO for student transportation and admission to Maywood Environmental Center, Sapping and Swain program. Also admission to visit Camp Waikota for the Mammal Outreach program, transportation and admission to Above and Beyond Museum. So, recommend that we accept these gifts and their corresponding budget adjustments.
I make a motion we accept those gifts. And thank you.
Yep.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Policy. We need to approve the first reading of Neola Policy Update, Volume 27, Number 1.
So one of the things you'll need to do is waive the reading of the policies if you wish, or we certainly could read all the policies if you would like to do that.
That we waive the reading of the policies.
I will second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, then let's combine these up. We need the approval of the first reading of Neola Policy on Health and Wellness, 8510, and we need to approve the reading of the Neola Policy and special updates. So we will be approving all three policies on one vote.
I make a motion we approve all three of the sections there on Neola policy, the updates, the health and wellness, and the special updates.
Second.
I do want the community to know that we know what these are about.
Right.
We just don't
We
care to
don't
sit here
need
and
to
read through the
read
whole
through
thing
them all.
tonight, but they have been looked at, they have been explained, so we know what's going on.
And we did look at them at the committee of the whole also.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So
All in favor?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have nobody that signed anything on the public participation. Board liaison, community ed, Sally.
We've not met since the last school board meeting. We'll be meeting in a couple of weeks. But if you go on their website, you can find there is a Squiggles and Wiggles for preschool age, ages 3 and 4. This will be happening the same time during summer school classes. They do have the youth athletics camps for girls and boys doing basketball, swimming, tennis, football, and dance. Many other offerings. There's the play group, Safety Town, Parent and Tot Swim, kayaking, scuba, rope course, and dog obedience class for older children to bring their dogs to. That's all I have.
Thank you, Sally. Foundation, Bob?
Foundation, I was actually out of town for that meeting. I do know that the scholarship committee is working diligently at getting the scholarships put together, and that presentation of scholarships is
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow night. Yes, I knew it was coming up. I didn't know how soon.
So it's all finalized.
On top of that, the grants committee has also met within the foundation and made our recommendations to the foundation board on the grants that we will issue this coming year to the tune of just under 20,000.
It was just under 20. There was
Yeah.
about 1,300 that wasn't.
Given out. Right. So, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Then we have the Family Resource Center, Jamie?
Yes, I have a few things. We have not met, we're meeting Friday, but I perused the website, and basically I'd like to say thank you and recognize Ashley Yankee, who was actually received who's on a literary council, a tutor, and she won the United Way Individual Volunteer Award for this year. Basically, she's made a huge difference in numerous Sheboygan County lives. She ran a weekly conversational English discussion group at the Mead Library, as well as she was involved with teaching the new refugee mothers from Burma, Somalia, and Syria. So thank you very much to her, and anyone that is interested in becoming a tutor. You can make a huge difference in people's lives. Training is provided. Just contact the Family Resource Center and they will take your information, or you can go online and fill out a form and then they'll get a hold of you. Also, as far as parents as teachers, there are some summer activities coming up. The Little Learners Play Groups will continue through the summer on the first and third Wednesday of the month. From 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock at Generations, and that's for age groups 2.5 to 4 years old, and it is free. Also, June 13, this is for all ages, they're going to have a bubble artist. His name is Jeff Akins Hanna, and he'll be at Generations from 10 o'clock until 11. It's free, but they do ask if you can to bring a food pantry donation. It sounded kind of interesting. He takes plain old bubbles and he makes all sorts of different animals, and his goal is to inspire others to follow their dreams. So he makes huge wobbly dancing bubbles, blows bubbles inside bubbles, creates intricate sculptures with bubbles, all sorts of things like that. So it might be a lot of fun for you to go and attend with your children, and that is for all age groups. Also, July 10th, this is for ages 2 and 4. It's called Come Move With Me, and that's from 10:30 to 11, and that's at Brittany's School of Dance, downtown Plymouth. It's $5 per family, and that also is kind of a developmental, she takes concepts and spatial awareness, all while dancing and playing games and participating in activities. So another really interesting thing for you to do with your children. And like I said, that's 2 to 4-year-olds. And then we have one other thing, August 8th, it's Meet Us at the Fire Station. So that's for kids 2 and older with their parents. And you can learn all about fire safety. You get a tour, see a fire truck up close, get to interact with the firemen. And that station will be announced later on in July, but that also, they're asking for a $5 fee. And please register by August 1st. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Jamie. We have next Professional Development Council. Richard's not here, but Dan, did you have anything that you might want to?
Just in general, the Professional Development Council is wrapping up the year's assessment of our professional development activities from this past school year and planning already pretty intensively for next year's professional development activities in terms of our particularly math and language arts curriculum work, and of course always continuing with the master's programs and the adult learning through the UWGB program. So all of that is continuing, and we're going to assess and evaluate and improve.
Thank you, Dan. Moving on, we have personnel updates. Carrie.
Yes, actually, this is where our addendum came in. And first of all, the board will consider a retirement request from Diane Rosenbach, special education teacher at Riverview Middle School, effective at the end of the 2017-18 school year. Diane has served the Plymouth School District for 30 years. And the board will consider the resignation request from Brianna Capers, 8th grade teacher at Riverview Middle School, effective at the end of the 2017-18 school year. Brianna has served the Plymouth School District for 5 years. And those are the resignations. If you want to approve those, I'll go into the contract approvals.
Okay, we need a motion for the resignations.
And retirement.
I make a motion that we accept the retirements of these 2 teachers.
I'll second that with a thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then the new contracts that we have, first of all, the board will consider a 100% contract for Jenna Eddington to teach family and consumer economics at Riverview Middle School, beginning with the 2018-19 school year. Jenna received her bachelor's degree from Olivet Nazarene University. This will be Jenna's first year of teaching. And the board will consider the approval of a 100% contract for Alexa Piscule to teach STEAM at Riverview Middle School, beginning with the 2018-19 school year. Alexa received her bachelor's degree from Lakeland University. This will be Alexa's first year of teaching. And then the board will also consider a 100% contract for Rachel Chemnitz to teach 8th grade at Riverview Middle School for the 2018-19 school year. Rachel received her bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and this is Rachel's first year of teaching.
So we need a motion.
That we accept their contracts?
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? All in favor? Aye.
Okay, and then E.
Updates, consider the updates.
Yep. Then the next thing that we're asking the board to do tonight is to consider the support staff handbook annual updates. The Board of Education approves the changes to the support staff handbook, and the handbook changes were presented at the most recent committee of the whole meeting. They should also be in your packet with the full handbook. And this handbook also suggests the wage rate changes, which John spoke about earlier, and for all support staff positions and suggestions for implementation. So if you have questions, we certainly can answer them. Otherwise, we would need an approval.
I did hand out a substitute wage sheet tonight. There was one typo on there, which would have, I think we would all have been applying to become substitute aides without the decimal point.
Oh. Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the changes to the 2018-19 support staff handbook.
Second.
Was there any further discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye. Now moving on to the support staff updates.
Yep, for the support staff, we had Kathy Payne, special education aide at Plymouth High School, who submitted her retirement notice. Kathy worked for the district for 14 years. Bonnie Yeager, special education aide at Riverview Middle School, has submitted her retirement notice. Bonnie worked for the district for 3 years. Amanda Hendricks, special education aide at Plymouth High School, has submitted her resignation notice. It says retirement, but it should be resignation. Amanda has worked for the district for 7 months, and Margie Hoban has been hired at Fairview Elementary School as a special education aide. I believe Bonnie is also resignation, not retirement. So those are just the updates. They don't have to be approved, but.
Okay. Is there any questions on the updates? And moving on, consider out-of-state travel.
Tonight, we're considering out-of-state travel request from Romy Herrera, Plymouth High School Spanish teacher, to take students to Costa Rica July 14th, 2019 through July 23rd, 2019. This trip does align with school policy. Costs will be paid for by the parents, students, and students through fundraising, and this is the trip that they annually take. 1 year they go on spring break, and the other year they go during the summer. So this year they did go during spring break. All right.
I make a motion we approve the travel request from Romy Herrera for next summer's travel.
Second.
Any more discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, the President's report. I'd like to state that I was attending the meeting between our design engineers, our construction people, and our staff, and I was very pleased and very thrilled about the access that we have to these people, and that everything's going along well, and there's a lot of work for Carrie and staff, but I think they'll all be able to pull it off. And as far as the consideration of the $21,900,000, it was felt that it's better for the community that we borrow this, that total $30 million of the referendum in stages, and this will help out the expenses. So then the other thing is on the President's report, next month is June, end of the school year, and for our staff, we'd like to go to summer hours without any, if there's no objection with the other members of the board here, we will attend our summer hours at 5 o'clock would be our regular school meeting, and then after that, it would be going back into September, we would move back up to our 7 o'clock hours.
So that is our third summer now that we've been, so.
And we do this for our staff, so that they can have the evenings in the summertime with their families. So, moving on,
Does
Superintendent?
that work for the board?
Yeah.
I saw him look over there.
It'll be a challenge to get here by 5 o'clock for all the meetings, but I will.
5:30 work? I mean, I don't know.
5:30 or 6 would work much better, simply because I'm driving from Milwaukee.
What if we did 5:30 instead, 5:30 to 6:30, you know? instead of
Okay,
5?
5:30 be fine, yeah.
That would give Philip a little more time.
Okay.
A little bit of leave would be appreciated.
All right, Bob?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
5:30 helps me, so.
Very good. Then moving on to the superintendent's report.
Yep, tonight we have a few things. First of all, congratulations goes to our boys and girls track team who took first place at the Vanderpam meet in Sheboygan Falls. Yay, go Panthers. Also, congratulations to our Science and Technical Education Department for receiving the Fab Lab, and I want to thank our state and our governor for choosing Plymouth, and that's pretty amazing. Our boys basketball team was named Academic All-State, highest GPA in Division II, so I think that's really impressive, 3.72 GPA all around. That's very good. Again, extracurriculars, we know what it does for kids, so that's awesome. And then our Formula High School, we have 2 cars racing out at Road America these last 2 days, so we haven't gotten the results of the race yet, but we're absolutely sure Plymouth did very well. So
They're expecting first place.
yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Good.
Are they done racing now?
And they had to replace the clutch yesterday because they went through 3 or 4 belts in 4 consecutive practice runs. So they replaced the clutch and went with a chain instead. So
If you
see the
ever,
kids just digging in there, and adults helping too. So.
So it was the Monday and Tuesday?
yeah, if you ever get a chance to go out there and watch the races, it's pretty neat to see our kids racing the cars that they built. That's pretty awesome. So then we also have May 16th coming up. Tomorrow night is our scholarship committee night at 6 p.m. May 18th, we have our car show out here all day, so please feel free to come and enjoy. Typically we have brats and burgers and stuff for our community, so everybody, please come. It's always a really nice time. May 22nd, also, I want to just note that the Engineering, Design, and Development team will be presenting, our teams will be presenting again at the Arts Center, I believe at 6:30 that evening. That is also an amazing time, and I really, want to encourage as many people as possible to go down and see. These kids have worked their way through intro to engineering, principles of engineering, computer integrated manufacturing, all different levels of the engineering in this capstone course where they actually come together as a team. They find a problem in the community or within their world. They research, they design, they engineer, and then they present to us. And they also have a conversation, at least one conversation with a patent lawyer as to what it takes to even patent your products. So it is really nice. I love going down there and seeing the presentations on those evenings. So I asked if I could have an invitation for all of you here tonight, but I'm thinking they were at the track all day. So so I will definitely get specific times and stuff for you for that evening, but it's a really nice evening. And then May 23rd, Jazz in the Park at 7 p.m. Also, the Salary and Personnel Committee meeting will be on that day. May 25th, we have no school because that's our replacement for the snow day. And June 3rd is graduation in City Park at 3 o'clock. And June 8th is our last day of school. Hard to believe. So that's all that I have, President St. Clair.
Thank you, Gary. So I think what we'll do is entertain a motion to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay.
And